thoroughly enjoyed the evening. It's been an opportunity which I would hope that I'm always invited to and I would never ever miss if I'm given the opportunity once again of supporting you. I had the opportunity again 2 days ago to attend Dartford Cadets. Absolutely amazing. What a sight you have, and as the officers have already mentioned, what a crowd, a great team you have that builds this. What they didn't mention is, among my charities, the Dartford Cadets is one of them. And I hope that this organisation doesn't only last in your term, but it lasts for many, many more years. 72 years you've been here, and I hope and pray it lasts at least another 72 years, if it doesn't sink below the ground, maybe. And I will try my utmost to support and financially support you as much as I can through the charity. But this is where I do ask you, as a collective group, also support me, because whatever you support me with, a proportion will go to this great organisation. It's run by a great board, and I think this is the way that we need to be moving forward. We have to think outside the box. We can't do any longer, as one of my colleagues said the other day when they attended one of our cocktail evenings, master cocktail evening, we always go to mayor's quizzes. This is different. We have to think outside the box. What can we do to have this income coming into the organisation? We have banded a few ideas with the club, so hopefully that is the way that we can move forward. And I also had the privilege of appointing 2 Mayor's Cadets. Normally it's 1, but I like to break protocol, so I appointed 2. That was with the consent of the officers. And so that was great, and they will be escorting me within Dartford to different organisations so that they also get to see what the mayor's role actually is, because I'm sure there's a few of you sitting here thinking that the mayor, all he does is gets chauffeur driven around, right, has lovely posh meals, yeah, and that's about it. But no, I'm sure if you ask my colleagues sitting here as well from Swanley, that isn't what it's about. It's about representing the community at all levels. I'm one of those, again, that proudly says, in 4 months, I've almost, give or take, done as many events as a mayor does in a year. And I've done that in 4 months. And just after yesterday's dog racing event, I think we're touching about £8,000 that we've already raised. So with your support, we can double, triple, quadruple that, keeping in mind that proportion will come back to this great organisation. And my way of thinking about organisations when I was selecting my charities, I actually have 31. As I said, I like to break protocol, so I went for the maximum because it's about awareness, where the organisations are. It's easy for us as parents to say, my children haven't got nothing to do. But there's plenty out there, but you have to go out there and find it. And nowadays, it's not that hard because it's ding ding, and there comes Google and tells you exactly where what is. This is a great establishment. Let's keep it running, along with the other armed forces. You know, I've got my group being centenary of the 100 of the First World War. I've kept all the 3 forces because I think freedom that we enjoy today, and I'll say that very, very proudly, the freedom that we enjoy today is because of our elders, what they did and the sacrifices they gave for us. And we must always, always remember them. If we forget them, our children will forget them. But if we keep this organisation and the other organisations alive, we will always remember them for the freedom that we enjoy they gave to us many, many moons ago. So that's what we should be playing. With our children, we should have, in my opinion, we should have First World War and Second World War lessons in history, in geography, which we don't do. We touch it briefly when I was at school. It was all about the Romans. I'm sure that's what all of you most likely did. actually ever touch on the First and the Second World Wars? One semester, and that was it. And it was all covered. No, there's much, much more than that. And that's what we need to be playing. I think we've got to petition the government, whether it's this government or any other government, to say within the syllabus we must have the First and Second World Wars. Otherwise our children will forget. They won't know where freedom came from. It's because of the sacrifices that they gave. Once again, thank you very much for all the support that you've shown today. And Worship, thank you very much for hosting the event in Swanley, with your permission. And thank you very much for granting me permission to wear my chains. You know, I do consider that as a great honour, especially when you're in neighbouring boroughs. We have a protocol. We don't break protocol unless the mayor of that borough or that parish or that town agrees that the mayor can come to the town with the chains on. So thank you very much, and once again, please do enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Be saying no to him. No, you can't wear your chain. Welcome, good evening. I'm Mayoress. I'm the Mayor of Swanley this year, and this is my wife Dee, who is the Mayoress. We are very pleased to be here to share your 2014 mess dinner. This is a very special year, as it's the centenary of World War I, and focus is very much on uniformed brigades. I'm on home turf here, as this building holds the Swanley Council Chamber just above us on the first floor, where I chair many council meetings. So we are in Swanley, in the county of Kent tonight, and you are Dartford and Crayford Sea Cadets, which is also in Kent. I was interested to read that Kent is in fact where the very first naval brigade in the country was set up, in the port of Whitstable. Sailors returning from the Crimean War in the mid-1800s wanted to help many orphans in the seaports. I'm sure you are proud that over a century and a half later, the Sea Cadets continue. In fact, the Cadets have the longest continuous history of any youth organisation. Indeed, the Sea Cadets now have 30,000 cadets and adult volunteers nationally. The difference in this modern age is that Sea Cadets now support the local community rather than the other way around. And I would like, on behalf of the community of Swanley, to thank you for your support over the years in the numerous ways to you help the community. You are fortunate to have such high calibre volunteers that come forward to lead the local cadets, because so many clubs and organisations struggle or fold due to lack of leaders. So I'd like to say well done, and to thank the leaders here tonight. Perhaps we can show an appreciation and give them a clap. The Sea Cadets form character that enable you to develop self-confidence and self-worth experience working as a team. There is a lot to gain from membership of the Sea Cadets. I see the list of qualifications on offer include the Duke of Edinburgh Award, which is a great independent qualification. I remember well when my son William, 20 years ago, training for his Bronze Award. He was a tough rugby playing, no-nonsense lad, but not a good swimmer. Unfortunately, he was nervous doing his canoe training. He capsized his canoe and got trapped underneath. Then tragedy struck, because he was rescued by a girl. She bravely dived him and dragged him to safety. He later said he'd rather have drowned. His friends ribbed him about the incident for years. He did go on to gain his award, but wisely decided not to try for silver or gold. The Sea Cadets offer opportunity to train and to take a variety of qualifications. They are recognised outside the organisation. So, Sea Cadets that are here, do take advantage of these opportunities, because when in the future you apply for a job, or a college or a university, you will stand out from many of the other applicants, because you to have something on your CV to show that you can apply yourself to a task you can sustain, training, and you have an interest in things and you work in a team. All qualities that an employer or a good university is looking for. I wish you well for your futures. Thank you really very much for inviting me here this evening. I'd like to thank Emma for organising, and I hope you have a good rest of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, P.O. Emma Dawson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming to this evening. And as has been reiterated by our CEO, Dave, and the Mayor of Dartford, as well as the Mayor of Swanley, we're here to raise money for the Sea Cadets, particularly Dartford Crayford Sea Cadets. And there have been 4 of them around the room this evening, which I'm sure you've seen, helping out, hindering, making sure that fines are paid. I'll first of all like to give them a big thank you, and I'd like to start with they've done. There is going to be some more fun coming up later on. I know we've done the formal bit and we've done the speeches. There is one more speech to have, and then we'll be playing some games. So I'd like to hand over to, I don't know where he's gone. Oh.
He's got to sew him up.
Sew him up.
Sorry. I wasn't wrong, was
I'd
I?
like to thank Unit Chairman Ashley Brown. Thank you.
I know it's not custom for me to say anything, but when Dave took over, we was heading for stormy waters. We've had to brave a lot of stormy weather. It's not plain sailing as yet, but we are getting there. The end of the storm is near. There's a lot of people who've been involved with cadets. There's been a lot of hard work. I'd like to thank Emma, Washbourne Mills. Dave, he's had a lot of stress. Got a few grey hairs. First Lieutenant, he's had a lot of problems. Laura, who's done a lot of work down the unit. What I'd like to do, because nobody gives a mention to those actually who does work down there, and I'd like to thank them and propose a toast. If it wasn't for the officers, there'd be no cadets. If it wasn't for the cadets, there'd be no officers. There wouldn't be a T.S. Anson. And that would be part of Dartford's history that would be destroyed if it wasn't there. So, a toast. T.S. Anson.
Cheers.